Hi, my name is Nicholas Kirstead. I'm from North Carolina and I'm about to be going to the Gambia with the Peace Corps, and I figured I'm going to make this video to help you guys understand a little bit more about the place I'll be going to. The Gambia is a small river nation in West Africa, surrounded on three sides by Senegal. In fact, the name the Gambia refers to the Gambia River, which runs through the entirety of the country. The Gambia itself is about 4,000 square miles, making it about 1/12 the size of my home state of North Carolina. That said, it still manages to pack inside it over 2,000 people. The majority religion of the Gambia is Muslim, and this is something that particularly intrigues me, having grown up in an incredibly evangelical environment and having spent the rest of my life in the United States, someplace that is, again, heavily Christian. And there's a lot of misconceptions I probably have. There's a lot of ignorance I probably have regarding this religion, and it's one that I am really curious to see what is true and what isn't true from what I've learned throughout my days, particularly when it comes to Islam in practice.
So a lot of the early history in the Gambia isn't really all too well known. But that said, we do know that it was underneath the Mali Empire for a large portion of its history, specifically the medieval history, under Mandinka rulership. 1588, colonialism struck, and it ended up being sold by Portugal, or, well, the rights, I should say, were sold for English traders to use it as a major hub for the transatlantic slave trade. And it remained a huge point in the transatlantic slave trade for many centuries to come, being fought over quite a bit between Britain and France for the right to use it. However, Britain was the one that majorly won out. Outside of the Gambia and Senegal, France obviously won out, and that is why right now Senegal is a French-speaking nation officially, and the Gambia is a English-speaking nation.
The official language of the Gambia is English, but they speak a variety of indigenous languages, including Mandinka, Wolof, Jola, Serahule, Pular, and I am forgetting one. This is embarrassing. But I'm not certain exactly which one I'll be learning to speak once I get there. Not yet.
In 1807, the British Empire would outlaw slavery, although it was still a major point of slavery, but British ships in the newly formed fort of Benhurst, which would later be renamed Banjul, the current capital, became a point of suppressing the slave trade. It clearly wasn't wholly effective, though, because it would be completely eradicated until 1906. Now for a little bit on the more recent history of the Gambia, which is an interesting affair all in itself. In 1965, the Gambia gained its independence from Great Britain. Instead of being a colony, it was now officially a part of the Commonwealth and under its own rulership. More specifically, Prime Minister Jawara was in charge of the Gambia until 1994, with some off and on periods until 1994 when Yahya Jammeh of the Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council seized power in a military coup. Now, this led to an interesting period of history. His reign only lasted until 2016 and the 2016 Gambian election. During this time, it was looking like Dorobi of the United Democratic Party might take power, or might, I say take power, win the election is a much fairer way of saying it, because he would have been taking it legitimately, not by coup. But he was arrested before the election could take place, making him ineligible to run. His replacement, Adama Barrow, however, came in. Long story short, Barrow won, which was a shock to many people all over the world. And after this, at first, Yahya Jammeh was very accepting, congratulated Barrow on his victory, but then not too long later changed his mind. And long story short, it didn't work for that. He ended up getting exiled, and since then has remained in exile, with Barrow still being the president of the Gambia.
While there, I'm going to be a community health facilitator. and that means I'm going to be essentially, for the most part, what I understand it to be is we'll be teaching about things like nutrition and hygiene, with a specific emphasis on hand washing. Breastfeeding is another one, and HIV prevention, as well as there's a big focus on malaria prevention, at least amongst Peace Corps in the Gambia. Beyond that, I'm looking forward to this and seeing how many things I got absolutely wrong while making this video. Keep in touch.